I never been. There's all the drama that you have. So yeah, they're fine. Person. They don't Friday's the 2 hours. I don't have they can you know. Keys that they have to the out those small so they got that. So I agree. I don't get this funny. This yeah. Make our report. And I think he was not in his rifle.
Hello everyone, welcome to Legacies Lunch. Can everyone hear me? We're going to go ahead and get started.
Yes.
All right. Great. I'm Danielle Apsorda. I'm the Community Outreach Archivist and Programs Coordinator for the Butler Center for Arkansas Studies. Welcome to Legacies and Lunch, celebrating 150 years, Joseph Carter Corbin and the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. This monthly program is currently being held at UA Little Rock downtown. I want to thank Marta and Carly for graciously hosting us, and it features talks on Arkansas-related topics. If you're joining us in person and you parked in Library Square's parking garage, be sure to stop by the table at the front to get a sticker to validate your parking. We do want to apologize for the busyness in Library Square as we prepare for main library's reopening. It may have made parking challenging today. We recognize that and appreciate you being here anyway. We also have complimentary cookies and drinks at the table, so be sure to grab some of those goodies as well. I'd like to also remind you at this time to please make sure your cell phones are on silent or do not disturb. And before we get started, we'll give you a raffle for a special 25th anniversary tote bag for Legacies and Lunch, and I have some fun Cal swag inside. So let's see who wins. We've got the last three digits are 156.
156.
Ah, David Ware, all right. Perhaps a logo you recognize.
Raffle. Won the raffle. Dr. Ware. No.
I'll see, but I'll take it. And we'll also be doing one more raffle at the end for a copy of Dr. Gladys Turney Finney's book. So be sure to stick around and hold on to that ticket. And I'd like to invite you to join us downtown on Friday, September 12th at the Rocket Lab for Second Friday Art Night. We'll have dedicated visual art studio here with us once again to do some screen printing. And we'll also have an opportunity for you to knit with some friends, enjoy some wine and live music. And we would also like to invite you to join us here in Library Square on Saturday, September 20th for the reopening of the main library, with festivities starting with a ribbon cutting at 10 o'clock. And the Roberts Library will have a special pop-up exhibit on the history of the Central Arkansas Library System, a printmaking demonstration with Perry and Hurd, a new exhibit opening in the underground gallery, and tours of our DIY memory lab. You can check out our website for more information. And today we are joined virtually by Dr. Gladys Turner Finney in conversation with Dr. Kimberley Davis here with us in person to commemorate the 150th anniversary of the opening of Branch Normal College, now the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, by Joseph Carter Corbin. The school opened the doors to what would become a major center of learning for African Americans in Arkansas, starting with just 7 students. Gladys Turner Finney is an heir to the legacy of Professor Joseph Carter Corbin. She was born in rural Southeast Arkansas during the Great Depression and grew up in Pine Bluff. She graduated from J.C. Corbin High School in 1953 and from Arkansas A&M, now UAPB, in 1957. As the author of Joseph Carter Corbin, Educator Extraordinaire, she works to preserve his legacy as a pioneer in education, particularly in the Reconstruction era. Corbin, the first African-American state superintendent of public instruction, believed in education for all. In honor of his contributions, Turner Finney established the Joseph Carter Corbin Memorial Scholarship at Ohio University in 2015 and at UAPB in 2022. And Kimberley Davis, PhD, is Dean and Professor in the School of Education at the University of Arkansas in Pine Bluff. She has a BS in Secondary Education Social Studies, an M.Ed in both Special Education and Educational Leadership, and a PhD in Special Education. Dr. Davis has served in the field of education as a special education teacher, coordinator, consultant, educational diagnostician, and special education director. Her research interests include multi-tiered levels of intervention and support, teacher preparation, inequities in special education, inclusive practices, and culturally responsive teaching. In 2024, she was named an Impact Academy Fellow by the nonprofit Beings for Impact. If you have questions and you're joining us via Zoom, please put your Q&A, please put them in the chat, and we will alternate in-person and virtual questions at the end of the session. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Turner Finney virtually and Dr. Davis here in person.
Good afternoon, and welcome everyone to this session of Legacies and Lunch. I am Dr. Kimberley Davis, Dean of the School of Education at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. It is an honor to be with you today. Today, I will be interviewing Dr. Gladys Turney Finney, a graduate of AMAN and today known as the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, and author of Joseph Carter Corbin, Educator Extraordinaire and Founder of the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. For the past 17 years, Dr. Turner Finney has been sharing the life work of Professor Corbin, who was the first African-American superintendent of public instruction for the state of Arkansas and the founder of what was to become UAPB. Dr. Finney, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Dr. Davis. I was born in Tamar, Arkansas during the middle of the Great Depression. I grew up in Pine Bluff. I attended St. Peter's Catholic School until the 10th grade. I graduated from J.C. Corbin High School on the university campus in 1953. Corbin High School was a preparatory and laboratory school for the college. It prepared us for rigorous training beyond. At Corbin High School, I developed a love for history taught by Miss Willie B. Thomas. I graduated from A.M.N. College, Agricultural, Mechanical, and Normal College in 1957. I received an MSW from Atlanta University School of Social Work in 1959. I had a 36-year career as a professional social worker.
So what compelled you to write this book?
I am an heir to the legacy of Professor Corbin. I'm a proud graduate of the high school that commemorated him. I'm a proud graduate of the college he founded. I found my voice at Corbin High School, and I benefited greatly. I knew the school was named after Professor Corbin, but there was little information about how he had laid the foundation for education in Arkansas. He had become lost to history. He was not on Wikipedia. No information would come up on him. in a search of the World Wide Web.
Professor Corbin was lost to history. Well, what has changed that?
In 2008, as a member of the Dayton and Miami Valley Black Genealogy Society, I decided to write an article on the founder of my university. I knew he was a native of Ohio. In doing the research, I learned how truly exceptional Professor Corbin was. As the second African American to graduate from Ohio University and the superintendent of public instruction in Arkansas during Reconstruction, no one knew where Professor Corbin was buried. He died in 1911 in Pine Bluff. There was no death certificate. It was a time when there was no state registration of births and deaths. I eventually found his gravesite in Forest Park, Illinois. The cemetery is now known as Forest Home. It was originally German Waldheim Cemetery. Professor Corbin's wife and two Ohio-born sons are buried there. None of his four daughters born in Little Rock, including the one daughter who survived him and was a teacher at the college, is buried at Forest Park. I raised funds for the four headstones. I dedicated the headstones on Memorial Day 2013. I researched and finished the book in 2017. I nominated Professor Corbin for an Ohio historical marker. The marker was placed and dedicated at Ohio University at Chillicothe. Chillicothe, Ohio, is Professor Corbin's birthplace. I nominated and accepted Professor Corbin's induction into the Ohio Civil Rights Hall of Fame in 2018. I nominated him for the Arkansas Black Hall of Fame, and I also have nominated him for a United States Postal Service Heritage Stamp, but there has been no positive response as of this date. I nominated Professor Corbin's gravesite for the U.S. Department of the Interior Registry of Historic Places. We dedicated the historic registry plaque at Forest Home Cemetery on May Day 2014, 10 miles west of Chicago.
April 25th, 1873, Branch Normal College was chartered by the state legislature as a branch of Arkansas Industrial University, now the University of Arkansas Fayetteville. September 27th, 1875, Professor Corbin opened the college in Pine Bluff in a rented house with 7 students. None could read beyond the 3rd grade. He built the college from the ground up and produced the first African Americans in Arkansas with bachelor's degrees over 150 years ago. What is done?
I submitted a resolution request approved by the Pine Bluff City Council to proclaim September 27, 2023, Professor Joseph Carter Corbin Day into perpetuity. The Pine Bluff City Council also approved my street renaming application to rename 2nd Avenue Professor Joseph Carter Corbin. The street renaming dedication was held September 27, 2023. 2nd Avenue and Oak Street in Pine Bluff was the original location of the college. We celebrated the first annual Professor Joseph Carter Corbin Day, September 27, 2023, at UAPB in the STEM building. Dr. Charles Robinson, Chancellor of the University of Arkansas at Fayetteville, was the keynote speaker. I received presidential citation from President Joe Biden, a citation and congressional record remarks from Arkansas U.S. Representative Bruce Westerman. I also received proclamations from the state Senate by Senator Stephanie Flowers, the Pine Bluff Mayor Shirley Washington, Ohio University at Athens, proclamation from the Mathematical Association of America. Professor Corbin was a profound mathematician. I requested that they provide a tribute for Professor Corbin. The MAA commissioned a historical article, Arkansas's Profound Mathematician, by Dr. Jesse Leo Cass of the University of California at Santa Cruz. It's on the World Wide Web. If you get a chance, please read it.
Wow. How do you top that?
Well, the true legacy of Professor Corbin's accomplishment will be our consistent emulation of the example he has set for us. It is through remembering his impact and ways of bringing people together, churches, community, civic groups, the legislature, and city government, that the Pine Bluff community will return to its turn-of-the-century glory as one of the highest educated communities in the entire United States. Many famous Arkansans studied under Professor Corbin. The richest African American in the country lived in Pine Bluff. Emulating Professor Corbin shows us what is possible. The normal school educated the children of the formerly enslaved who did not have adequate resources. Even today, lack of resources prevent many talented youth from reaching their potential. I established 2 memorial scholarships in Professor Corbin's name at Ohio University and at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. There is more we can do to help. In 2024, Professor Corbin Day was celebrated by the Prince Hall Grand Lodge of Arkansas, as Professor Corbin was a highly regarded Prince Hall Mason. The keynote speaker at that event was Dr. John Kyle Day from the University of Arkansas at Monticello. He had presented papers at the Quatuor Coronati Lodge Conference in 2022 and 2023 on the Prince Hall Grand Lodge of Arkansas and the role of Arkansas's Freemasonry during Reconstruction, demonstrating Professor Corbin and others' roles in propagating Freemasonry in the United States. This year, 2025 Professor Corbin Day will celebrate innovative ways Professor Corbin, who is already part of the approved history curricula, can be introduced into the classroom. Teacher training institutes are a continuation of the Corbin legacy in that he co-founded the Arkansas Teachers Association in 1898 with fellow educator Rufus C. Childress. Professor Corbin was the first president. The ATA was founded in Pine Bluff and was later merged with the all-white Arkansas Education Association in 1969. Your work, Dr. Davis, in 2023 with the UAPB student teachers and classrooms in the Pine Bluff School District has led to innovative methods in teaching, not only on Professor Corbin's role in history, but in all subjects. Thank you for your work. We invite everyone to the 2025 presentation, where we'll focus on your innovative curricular introduction of Corbin in the classroom. This year's celebration will be held Saturday, October 4th, 2025, at the new St. Hurricane Missionary Baptist Church in Pine Bluff.
At 10 o'clock a.m.
The time is 10 a.m.
Thank you. It will be my pleasure to share. I also noticed a logo beside you. Who are the friends of Joseph Carter Corbin?
The legacy of Professor Corbin belongs to us all, the city of Pine Bluff, the state of Arkansas, and the nation, because of the impact and best practices used to educate all people. We open an endowment with the Arkansas Community Foundation to support the yearly celebration, encourage research on his legacy, and its impact on his students and community. We also want to encourage students to pursue higher education. These are the friends of Professor Joseph Carter Corbin.
Well, thank you, Dr. Finney, for your work on sharing the history and legacy of Professor Joseph Carter Corbin, an Arkansas educational pioneer. Thanks also for all those present today for your interest and participation. I look forward to seeing you on Saturday, October the 4th, 2025 at New St. Hurricane Missionary Baptist Church, beginning at 10 a.m. We open this time now for questions, asking that you speak slowly and into the microphone so that your question can be heard over the technology.
Well, thank you all so much. We can start with in-person questions, and then we'll also check in on the virtual chat for questions. If you are joining us virtually, please put some questions there. Folks in person?
I'd just like to know how many people attended J.C. Corbin Laboratory School that are in here now. I'm the only one? Need some recognition.
J.C. Corbin Laboratory.
That's all I wanted to know.
Can you repeat the question to the microphone, just so to make sure that Dr. Finney can hear?
I wanted to know how many people in the audience had attended J.C. Corbin Laboratory School. And I see most people in here are much younger than I am. So surprised that somebody raised their hand.
Looked like we had one in the back, and then one over here, so we got 3 in addition to you, so 4. That's 10% of the room, that's pretty good. All right, still no questions virtually, we got any more in-person questions? Well, I have a question. I'm curious about what sort of genealogy resources you looked at whenever you were doing this research on on Professor Corbin, because so much of his story was hidden. Where did you look to find where he may be buried and all of that great information?
And on Professor Corbin was founded on the records at the University of Arkansas at Fayetteville as superintendent of instruction. He was required to provide biannual reports to the legislature. That's where I found a significant portion of the work that I found on him, and that's included in the book. There's a
Awesome.
lot of information we still do not know on him and still need a lot of research.
Great. If folks, everybody at their station should have a little sheet of paper with a QR code to get the book if you're interested in reading it. We do also have it at the library. If you have a Cal's library card, you can check it out. We got one. Oh, we got more questions. Yay, people are not shy anymore. Okay, here we go.
Hey, Glenn Hershey, a class of 1979 UAPB.
Class of 1979 UAPB.
Says,
Mhm.
get Dr. Corbin from Chillicothe, Ohio to Pine Bluff, Arkansas. What was that? If it's a recruiting process, how did that process go about to get him to Pine Bluff?
Arkansas.
Professor Corbin came to Little Rock in 1871 as a newspaper columnist for the Republican Party. And he ran for the superintendent of education and he won. So he became Arkansas' first African-American superintendent of education. And so by virtue of the fact that he was superintendent of education, it made him the director over the Board of Education for the University of Arkansas, which was known at that time, Arkansas Industrial University. And then later, he founded UAPB because UAPB was chartered by the legislature of Arkansas in 1873, but the school was not actually open until September 27, 1875, in a rented house in Pine Bluff with 7 students, none of whom could read beyond the 3rd grade, and their ages were 9 to 15. And incidentally, of these 7 students, 4 of them were from Drew County, Arkansas, and 3 were from Jefferson County, Arkansas, where Pine Bluff is located.
We've got a question on Zoom. Catilia Jackson asks, do you plan on writing any other books that expand on the legacy of UAPB post Dr. Corbin's tenure?
I would love to. I have more information. I've continued to collect information wherever I can find it.
Like what?
And Dr. Finney, can you elaborate a little bit on the establishment of both the scholarship in Ohio and the scholarship at UAPB in Professor Corbin's honor?
The scholarship at Ohio University is in the Department of Arts and Sciences. There have been at least 12 students who have received that scholarship. The University of Arkansas, Professor Joseph Carter Corbin Scholarship was open in 2022, and the first 2 students have been selected already. There are mathematics students who were selected because Professor Corbin was a profound mathematician. So the scholarship is open to students who are majoring in math. It's also open to students who are in the band because Professor Corbin organized the first band and the first choir at UAPB.
Wow.
And um, the um, I think that's it. I was thinking there was another group of students that was in the scholarship, but mathematics students, band students, I think it's primarily designated for those students. But that might change, who knows?
All right, I think we have at least one more, yeah.
Yeah, I'm Jeno Piri. I teach at the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. Thank you, Dr. Davis and Dr. Turner, for that insightful explanation of Professor Corbin's life. So I had a quick question, just looking at Professor Corbin's life. What are some of the lessons as educators we can get from his life? Like, what can you say about his life that educators, especially in higher ed, and maybe specifically dealing with African American students, what are some of the lessons we can get from his life? Thank you.
Some of the lessons we can learn dedication to a cause. We can learn how we can change history, how we can make other people's lives better. For example, education for the freely um, 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 well, they were enslaved, formerly enslaved is the word I want to use, formerly enslaved, had access to education that changed their lives, but also changed the lives of others. We can learn that we can be change agents, and in doing so, we can influence our world, our neighborhood, and our community.
Yeah.
Dr. Davis, I wonder if you had anything you might want to add to that since you've been developing curriculum around this. Do you want to add a little bit?
In the School of Education, we focus on pride. And so when you're thinking about all of the things that Professor Corbin has done, of course, one word that really stands out to me is perseverance. Just through the times, thinking, imagining what's going on during that time when UAPB was actually founded. And all of the things, all the excellent things that he has done. And so if he was able to persevere through all of that, so can we. And so we are in making sure that we envision this, not only for our students in higher education and future teachers, but all of our students in the P-12 environment in our community.
Well, Professor Corbin changed my life because, as you heard, I was born during the middle of the Great Depression. My parents had limited education. My father had a 4th grade education. My mom had a 7th grade education. And at that time, there were no Pell Grants, no student loans. And so I was able to go to college in my hometown, to commute daily. And that made a tremendous difference in my life.
Thank you so much. Okay, we got one more question over here.
Hello, I was just wondering if Professor Corbin's history is included in the curriculum now at UAPB.
Not to my knowledge,
But it is in the state curriculum.
but it is in the state approved curricular for I want to say
Okay. Through 12th grade.
kindergarten. Wait a minute, that's K to 12.
Yes.
Yes, K to 12.
Good morning, Dr. Finley. My name is Fred Tony. I'm a native of Pine Bluff, Arkansas also. And I certainly appreciate your work on this project, and I agree with you that more needs to be done in this regard. I'd like for you to tell me who were some of the professors who influenced your thinking while you were in college?
That influence your thinking.
At Corbin, I mentioned that Miss Willie B. Thomas taught me history. She also taught me at this college because the students at Corbin High School had the same teachers as the college. So she sufficiently influenced me. And that's why I had a love for history. I was not a history major, but I'd like to say to those three persons in the audience who was part of the laboratory school. I was also part of the laboratory school. I did my student teaching at Moulton High School in Marianna, Arkansas, and I did it in history. I was not a history major. I was a sociology major, but I had enough quarters in history to do my student teaching in history.
Your sociology professor.
Mm.
And your sociology professor.
Oh, I can never forget the sociology professor who also influenced me and was responsible for me getting into graduate school, Dr. Tillman Cawthron.
Want to tell that story?
In your studies?
Tell about Dr. Cawthron.
Dr. Tillman Cawthron.
What did he do?
Oh, he was the dean of the Department of Sociology. Did you hear me?
Yes, I was asking if the professors used Carter G. Woodson's book, any of his books, Professional Negro, or his most famous book, can't think of the title of it now. But did you use any of Carter G. Woodson's works in your studies?
I didn't get that.
Did the professors use any of Carter G. Woodson's work at your time in the university?
Not as much as I would have liked.
Dr. Finney? Dr. Finney?
I didn't hear it.
They're addressing it.
I just wasn't sure. We sort of had a pause there. This is Mary Hester Clifton, and I'm out in the audience. How are you? And I wanted to offer a alternative answer to the curriculum question at UAPB, because I did want to ensure that we do celebrate Joseph Carter Corbin quite extensively. I invite everyone who's interested to see our university and visit our University Museum and Culture Center, where a lot of that is focused on Joseph Carter Corbin, his life and legacy, along with all of the people who followed in his footsteps to make sure that the university is existent to this day. It brings it up to our current chancellor. And then also I wanted to say that every April, the last week in April, we celebrate Founders Week. So during that week, everything is about educating our students about Joseph Carter Corbin and around celebrating the fact that, we have gone through our process, our curriculum, and the students do a lot of activities around that. So it's not built into that curriculum per se, but yes, it is very grounded into the culture and understanding at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. And I know I got some AM and Ners in here, so I'm gonna say AM and N and UAPB also. Okay. All right, so thank you. I just want to add that, but I'm the Director of Communications from UAPB and working with Dr. Finney and Dr. Davis, and we're just so proud of her. I mean, just seeing her and the type of, I mean, we're talking about Dr. Carter Corbin, but she has left a trail too. So I have to commend her on that.
My name is Brenda Tenner, and I was invited to come over. I did about the lecture today, but I was curious. History is so important, and he being Mr. Corbin, being a Dr. Corbin, being a founder, I was just wondering: is it anywhere that you all thought about his name being placed as a founder, of AM and N UAPB? Because that is so, this history is marvelous. I mean, it's fantastic for, I know whatever race of people, that how you can come up from the ashes to be at the top. So I was just wondering if y'all ever thought about that being a name attached to as the founder of AM and N, because that was fantastic, what he did, marvelous.
Yes, history is important, and he is the founder. And to what extent we can honor that and be proud of that, that is important. Because it's been said that those who do not remember history are condemned to repeat it. So we have an opportunity to promote Professor Corbin's legacy, not only for our times, but for the future.
I think he had a question and then I'll get it to you.
Dr. Finney, this is David Ware from the State Archives. It's lovely to see you again. And I was down in Pine Bluff just a couple of weeks ago, and I drove by the old home of the Prince Hall Masons, and there on the cornerstone, the list of trustees inscribed, there was Professor Corbin. Maybe you sort of, oh yeah, there is something reminding us of him even in downtown Pine Bluff. My question has to do with the change after his years as head of branch normal, and he ended up being the principal of the Black High School in Pine Bluff. Can you talk a little bit about what happened there?
I'm not able to say a lot about Merrill High School. The historians say that he was at Merrill High School, but I see and read some differences. Some people think he was at the junior Merrill, not the high school. I have not
Some data.
I have not really definitively come up. I believe that he was at the high school and not the junior, but I do not have the data to support that. And that's why we need more researchers. Because Merrill High School Museum is being dedicated, and I'm not sure what will be in the museum regarding Professor Corbin. I don't know whether they will acknowledge him as being a principal of the junior high school and not of the high school. So we're waiting to see.
Dr. Finney, we have a question in Zoom from Dora Bradley. She says, Dr. Corbin made a great impact on my students at McClellan High School during our research in Black history. We focused on Arkansas heroes. Is this video available to the students in LRSD? Well, I can answer that. So this, all Legacies and Lunch do get posted to YouTube. So if you would like to share this after we have a playlist of all of our Legacies and Lunch, and we'll make sure and share that with the speakers. And if you are unable to find it, you can email us at arkinfo@cals.org and we will get you that link. So to anyone who was wondering, that answers that question. I think we had at least one more in the crowd. Yeah.
The curriculum is on the website. The Encyclopedia of Arkansas also carries the curriculum for the Central Arkansas Library System.
Dr. Finney, just curious, did Professor Corbin's paths cross with the first president of A&M College, John B. Watson? Did they paths cross at all during that time frame?
Was Professor Corbin contemporary with Dr. Watson?
No, Dr. Watson came after Professor Corbin. Professor Corbin was there at the school 27 years.
Until 1902.
Yes, he was there from he was there up until 1902. So he came in
1875.
1875.
Until 1902.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We'll take just one more question. I know we've been asking questions for about 20 minutes, and I want to make sure that we give Dr. Finney a little rest after this. Does anyone have one final question? Looks like we were kind of toning down anyway. Okay. All right. Well, I'll just go ahead and close then. Thank you so much to Dr. Davis and Dr. Finney. I'll just come over here to be a mic by a mic. I'm just going to keep holding this one. That seems easiest. Thank you so much for joining us at today's Legacies and Lunch. If you want to support programs like this, please donate to support Butler Center programming at robertslibrary.org. You can join us here at UA Little Rock Downtown next month, October 1st, from 12 to 1 with historian and 2025 Strickland Fellow, Heather McNamee, for Beyond Desegregation, Black Education Activism in Jonesboro, which will highlight Black educational activism after desegregation in Jonesboro, Arkansas. And lastly, we have one more raffle drawing. I have to get our tickets though, so bear with me one second. I should have done that in advance. And the winner of Dr. Gladys Turner Finney's book, Joseph Carter Corbin, Educator Extraordinaire, is ticket number 147. Yay! That's sweet and healthy, but it's my body's gonna be today. Yes. All right, thank you all so much for being here. Thank you again to Dr. Finney and Dr. Davis, and we'll see you all next month.
Thank you.
Thank you.